Now, have you ever watched The Big Idea with Danny Deutsch?
I was on that show.
You were? Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Okay, so what ideas or suggestions did you share on that show?
Oh, wow, it's hard to remember that now. It's been so long.
Has that show been out that long?
I just remember, well, it was probably 2 years ago I was on there with Donnie. And I think Donnie made a mistake because he had 4 people on the show, and it was an hour-long show. Mm-hmm. And I was the second one coming up, and he had the guy that did the vitamin water. And the vitamin water guy was on there for a whole half hour. Whole half hour they had on vitamin water. I mean, they kept rehashing and going over and over and over again. And I think people got tired of watching it and turned off the show. And by the time I got on there, I think they were all the audience was gone. But they had myself, and then they had 2 more, and I can't remember who was behind me. But I went over to Orlando and sat in the studio, and they did that. Everybody else was in their studio, wherever his studio is, and I was doing a satellite feed.
Okay. And have you ever used the laws of attraction? Are you familiar with that?
The what?
The laws of attraction? Or did you ever visualize your
empire?
When
I used to go to nightclubs and look for girls.
It's a different type of thing where you think things and then it comes to you.
Oh. No, I don't know.
Oprah's done some shows on it. I know, I think I asked you that before, and it amazes me because you've been so successful, and most people always say that they've had to use that. The laws of attraction, the power of positive thinking, the visualization. You didn't do any of that, did you? You just kind of got lucky.
No, I worked hard. I worked many hours. I would work until I'd fall over, and I'd even forget to eat many times. I would get staph infections. You know what staph? We're talking under your arm. You have a boil because you're working so hard. You get your system run down. I'd run down to the doctor, and he'd take a knife and just cut it and drain it right there without even using any anesthetic or everything. And just drain it. Bam! I was right back. Put a bandage on it, and I'm right back to work again because I was possessed, and time was my only limit.
Wow. And I know your belief has always been honesty, fair play, tough competition, and lots of hard work. Yeah. And was that instilled in you from your childhood, your dad, your father, and everything? And he's the one who loaned you $500 to start the...
Yeah. I don't know where he got it, but he did.
And then it was your happiest day when you paid him back, right?
Wow. He lost his house. This house right here is made out of North Carolina fieldstone, and the house that I as a kid built this house with my dad and my brother and sister and mother. The family built the actual house, and it was made out of the same fieldstone that's here. But the state of North Carolina came through and tore our house down and claimed it by eminent domain. And they built a freeway right through where our house was. Well, luckily, after the fact, I was able to get a lot of the stone. They just pushed it over the side of the hill, and they went down a bank, and I was able to get a lot of that stone here, and a lot of the stone that's in this house now is that very same stone.
Then you had it trucked down, didn't you? That must have cost a fortune.
Plus 500 tons, I think, of stone on top of that to do the whole house. Maybe more. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, thank you, Ron. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back with more information from Mr. Ron Rice of Hawaiian Tropic fame. Okay, well, we're back here with more Alive and Kicking on location. I am Lisa Marie Benz, and I'm here with Ron Rice.
Alive and Kicking.
Yeah, you love that name?
I love it. It's a great name, great name.
So it is public knowledge that you sold Hawaiian Tropic in 2007. And I know a lot of people are wondering why, and also, what are you doing now?
Yeah, it was time to get out. You know, I've been in it for 42 years, I believe, if you count the years back to the start. And I've got an 18-year-old doctor. I had a little minor health scare, and I'm thinking, now what would happen to the company? What would happen if something happened to me and I'm gone? And then she's all of a sudden thrust in here with really no experience in business whatsoever. Not to say that I really had any more than just on-the-job training experience in business myself. But I didn't want her to have that dilemma and that burden on her shoulders. So I decided that I was going to put it up for sale. We did it once before, and it didn't work out. The timing was not right. But a year and 3 months or whatever ago, it was in April, I signed on the dotted line and sold the company, and we got a nice return on it, and I was very happy with it. And I sold it to Playtex, actually, you know, the ones that make the gloves and the tampons and all the women's
There's
stuff.
got to be a joke in there somewhere.
Oh, there is, yeah. Well, I took off and went to Spain and Italy and France, and took Sterling with me and my daughter. And we spent 3 weeks over there, and I get back, and we ended up in Ibiza, I think it was, and we came back, and I found out they turned it around and sold it again. They flipped it.
Oh,
Sold it to the Energizer. The Energizer Bunny now owns it.
Oh, I didn't even
owns this
know
product
that.
right here, yeah.
Well, isn't that something? So, now do you have any say-so in the company at all anymore?
No, I sold it totally.
I mean, you're not able to control like the new creative products or anything?
Nope, they don't want me anywhere around. They want to go do their thing, pick my product that I build up, and that's fine with me. Let them go.
Yeah, so now let's talk a little bit about Sterling, your daughter. I know she's the apple of your eye, and now she's 18?
She's just turned 18, and she's going to, she finished in Oregon. She was living with her mother up in Wilsonville, Oregon, which is just a suburb of Portland, known for its sports, big sports school. And she's decided she wants to move close to home, so she's going to go to school in University of Central Florida.
Oh, great.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but University of Central Florida is probably the largest school in the state of Florida and the 6th largest school in the whole nation.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
that.
big. It's over 50,000 kids. It's big.
And so what does she want to do?
Well, I say she's going to take business because she's going to know how to manage the money, and then she's going to continue with her acting. She's done 43 films or TV shows in her scant 17 years, or 18 now. And she's going to continue that, I think, if she wants to. She can really do anything she wants to do. But business, she's got to get her business degree.
And of course, speaking of business, you started Sterling Models.
That's right. This is one of our little shirts here from Sterling Models International. We're named after her. It's a modeling agency that really hasn't done anything yet. We haven't taken off yet, but I'm thinking about merging with an agency out of Reykjavik, Iceland, and Stockholm. Mm-hmm. And we're going to probably merge the two agencies together, the agency there and here, and have representation both in Northern Europe and in the U.S.
Now, do you have a website? So if any girls are watching this right now, they can log on to it?
Not really yet. We haven't really put it together. It's just all brand new, so we really haven't done it yet, but it's coming.
Okay. How would you like girls, potential models, to contact you?
Well, they can just send us emails and put their picture in there or something like this, and because that's eventually what's going to happen, I'm sure.
Great. And of course, you are enjoying the American dream life.
Well, that's what they say. It's a cleanup process right now. For the last year, it's been cleanup after it's like a war zone, with a nuclear bomb hit. When I moved out of the factory, I took everything that was mine, and it took us many days to do that. And I've ended up with all these excess bathing suits, worn and not worn bathing suits. The Hawaiian Tropic girls run around in, and ski suits and T-shirts and just masses of things that were already written off the book. So I've got 2 warehouses full of things. So I think I'm going to have this guy, a friend of mine, go sell all this stuff on eBay.
Right, that's a good idea. Either that or have a garage sale.
Make him some money.
So, and we know you have a beautiful Lamborghini that has a little history behind it.
Actually, I'm thinking about selling that too.
On eBay?
Well, no, I won't go on eBay. No, that'll either go through the Barrett auction or possibly the I keep forgetting the name of it. What's the company that features the fancy cars all the time?
Is that something on the MTV cribs?
No, it's a very famous DuPont Registry. Mind blank, DuPont Registry.
Okay.
Either DuPont Registry or the Barrett auction house. One of those two probably.
Well, and it has some history, wasn't it, in
Cannonball
Run?
Mm-hmm.
And so that will probably help get even more money for it.
I loaned it to my good friends, Hal Needham, who was the director of the film, and Burt Reynolds, who was the main actor in the film, and they used it in the Cannonball Run #1. And Adrian Barbeau and Tara Buckman drove the car and made it famous. And then I got it back, and I think they insured it for $2 million through Lloyd's of London. And it made it through perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll fetch a pretty good dollar for that.
I don't
Now,
know much.
do you have any boats? Yachts?
got one big sailboat, motor sailor. It's about an 80-foot twin mast motor sailor called the Princess Sterling.
Of course.
And I just bought her a big ski boat and a couple of Yamaha wave runners. And she's a water animal, so she loves to get out and play on those things. So we're having our fun.
Yeah, that's great. Now, do you think that Hawaiian Tropic will keep up with the pageants? Because I know that was a big part of it.
They are right now, but whether they do in the future, I don't know. And that was one of my big concerns, because I had a network of people worldwide, nearly every country of the world, and they were sending us girls from everywhere to compete in the worldwide Miss Hawaiian Tropic International pageant. And I sold the company at the end of the 24th year. We had 24 winners. They kept it going, and they went on and completed the 25th, which they were obligated to do. They've hired one of my key people to continue running it. He's a guy that lives in Montana and runs all over the western United States. And he's doing a great job. And I think if they were smart, they would definitely continue it going, because it is very inexpensive to run, to do, and it brings in so much publicity. And the people have gotten it's almost Hawaiian Tropic name is almost more synonymous with pretty girls than it is with suntan products.
Right,
you know?
right. Well, I was watching a reality show called Beauty and the Geek. I don't know if you've
I've
seen
seen
that.
Yeah.
And a girl on there was a Hawaiian Tropic model.
Could be. We got so many thousands of them out there. They got to go somewhere.
Right. Now, also, another reality show I was watching, it showed Hawaiian Tropic Zone in New York.
Well, we have one in Vegas also.
Oh, okay. And it's like a club? Is that what it is?
No, it's a restaurant, a nightclub and restaurant. And the one in New York is on Times Square. The one in Las Vegas is in the Planet Hollywood Hotel, which used to be the old Aladdin. And it sits right out on the Strip. And when you drive down the Strip, you see the big name Hawaiian Tropic and everything right there on the marquees. It's a great club, and Dennis Reese has done a fabulous job building those two things. Dennis Reese comes from a family of nightclub owners or bar, restaurant and bar owners forever. His father did it. His father owned 400 locations in New York City and New York State. He now owns 100. He's narrowed it down to the 100 best, and the Zone is now 2, and they're looking for their 3rd location right now. They may go to Atlanta, they may go to Cancun, Miami. There's lots of.
Well, why not here in Daytona Beach?
I don't think so. I don't think so, no.
I mean, that's where it all started. It should be here.
No.
Was that your idea, though, to do that?
It was. I've known Dennis for about 20 years or more, and he had different things going on, and he approached me with the idea. It wasn't my idea, no, but it was his idea, because that's his business.
Wow.
And I said, yeah, sounds like a great idea. And luckily it happened, because he got in about a year before I sold the company, so it worked out perfect.
Right. Now, is there any chance of you getting a reality show?
I don't want a reality show. You are my reality show, Lisa.
Because I'll play Holly from the girls next door.
You are my reality show.
So there are a lot of single ladies out there wondering about you, Ron, if you're available. Last time I interviewed you, you were married to this, but now we know you're not.
Not anymore.
So
now I'm married to this on the low.
So I guess you're still a bachelor, right? We should get you on The Bachelor.
Oh, I don't want to be on the show. No. No, I've been there, done that.
So I guess the word is that you're available, you're just not looking.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
I guess that's one way of putting it.
Because you're busy and everything.
I did you know the ones where they used to auction the guys off.
For
did
charities.
That well, I did it because a girl who was a teacher up in Tallahassee, she was in charge of running it, and she asked me to do it because she had been a teacher here at Ormond Beach Middle School, and she helped me design the very first label for Hawaiian Tropic, and so I owed her a big favor. And she asked me to come up there, and I was up against an Air Force Thunderbird and other guys, and the Air Force Thunderbird and I were the last two, and everybody was saving their money, and I beat him by just a few dollars, and I thought that's pretty. Some drunk lady bid on me. We were going on a date in the Disney World or something, and she bid on me, and then all of a sudden she got sober the next day and realized that if they found out she used alimony money bidding on me, she would lose her alimony. So she had to decline paying for it, so I didn't have to do anything. I just went up there and went through the motions.
Well, that worked out good for you.
Well, I'll do anything for that girl. She is the greatest in the world. I'll do anything for her.